Do you have a business idea? Are you thinking of how to work your dream? Then watch Be Inspired.
This is Be Inspired. This is Be Inspired. This is Be Inspired. This is Be Inspired.
Learn from experienced entrepreneurs. Discover and develop your talent and potentials. Be challenged. Take that bold step to start up your business. Use your skills for the good of the society. Give wings to your vision. Let it fly.
Be Inspired Talk Show with Akwa.
In this episode, an experienced Nollywood director joins us. Special guest appearance, Moses Eskor, DGN.
Be Inspired, brought to you by KIJC.
Supported by Inspiration 105.9 FM, Uyo.
For advert placement and sponsorship, please call 0802 222 8013.
Be Inspired.
The next question I have, something I'm also very particular about. This is because I don't want to talk about the reason, why I am interested in this, but maybe I'll say later. What is the number of films produced in Akwa Ibom State and income generated? Do you have an idea of that?
Yeah, I would not know. It is much. The number of films, English film and indigenous films, is much. And though I have directed the highest number. Do you understand?
Which is how many?
I don't know myself how much I've directed. I think it's in the ratio of 100 and something, myself personally. But the rest people look to have done a lot too. Do you understand? And I can't say this is the number. I can't say this is about the number. But I want to tell you that it's much. Do you understand? Now I'm talking about income. The people have made it. As in, films have sold. Uyai sold. The highest two films ever shot in Akwa Ibom that have sold are one Uyai. Number one is Okon Lagos. It wasn't shot in Akwa Ibom, so I will not say it was Akwa Ibom film. So when you say Okon Lagos, Akwa Ibom film, I will tell you no. Okon Lagos was shot in Lagos State. Okay. Uyai was the one that was shot here in Akwa Ibom State, and it discovered Ime Bishop. And how it came was, Ime Bishop was always with us. I've told you, I met him in Andromeda. Now, after meeting him in Andromeda, we went and did one, what's it called? What was it? Udo Ekarika. He was part of it. And then after that, then Uyai. I'm fast forwarding to Uyai. God's Will Itudo, who was popularly known as Ifeanyi Kombakara. I told you it was my very first film. Yes. It was also in the second film, Indigenous Media with them. Ifeanyi Kombakara actually was supposed to come and play that particular role that Ime Bishop played. So he actually got this engagement to MC a traditional marriage. Okay. And the production crew could not wait for him to come back. So they had to look for somebody to replace him. And that is how people that were on set encouraged Mama Imem to work with Ime Bishop. And they called Ime Bishop to come. At that time, he was called Cafenol. Sometimes Ime Bishop was living at the Round Street. So he came in. At that time, I did that job. I wasn't part of it. I had this attitude then. If I see people do their film, I don't go. Do you understand? So he did that film and it blew. It became the highest selling film till date from this town. The second highest selling film till date from this town is my film. It was called Iso Jehovah. Okay. Do you understand? In fact, I beat Iso Jehovah with few tapes. It sold to a point that the marketer had to call me and said, I will be wicked if I don't help you, if I don't do something for you. He bought me a car for a film to sell to a point that
marketer bought you a car.
His name is Press International. He took me to Lagos and said, choose a car. I have sold 2.3 million copies. Choose a car. In reward, I stood there. I was crying. I stood there in that place and told him, sir, I am going to pay you back.
Have you paid him back?
Yes. When I came back, a friend of his gave me a little thing story called the landlord. I shot landlord for him. Okay. And took it to him. The guy still got crazy. Now, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, up to the 10th highest selling film in this town is my film. After it's over, it's with amount again.
Okay.
All of us know this, the ratio of the sales and popularity of these films I'm mentioning.
I've heard about
And
it,
then Landlord, the highest.
Okay.
And then there's a film I did called Amaunam for one you call Benaman. Those films were selling in thousands. I mean, a film will sell, you see a producer build a house from that film, and then he will call you and say, I want to give you an envelope. Thank you, like they call it Benaman. Do you understand? You see very well that this film has sold.
Okay.
So these are the records of the income generated. But to say this income, I told you how a marketer bought me a car. Now the problem then, why the film producers in this town did not really hit and make it so much. Even the person I knew that would have made it was the guy that I did Asari for. Asari sold very much to the highest this thing. But the marketers were not sincere. They will spend this money on frivolities and then block out the producers of this job. And the mistake the producers then used to have was selling their right outrightly to the marketers, right of the production. And then the marketers would take the product. So when this thing went going, the marketers to block every avenues of advices, every avenues of intruding or even trying to advise them on the way electronic business is going. So by the time the electronic business leave the seedy area into the present area that we are, they did not have information. None of them had a YouTube channel then. None of them knew what to do as at that time. As at that time, marketers outside the states were opening YouTube channels, opening applications on the net to sell their films. They once here blocked every advice from them. I even had to go and bring an Mnet staff, sponsored the guy, brought the guy into this town, accommodated the guy in a hotel, called a meeting of the marketers and said, look, we can start having our television channel. The man came in from African Magic, Mr. John, and decided to address everybody and said he will be buying seed as at that time when they just started the newly. Every year, I'll get your CD. Every year, I get your film. Part 1, I give you 100,000. Part 2, I give you 100,000. Part 3, as at that particular time, and they sit down. And the man told them, and this face rate, I will grow to where I can pay you millions. They told the man they don't want. They stood up in a meeting and said, when you start playing our music and films in the studio, in our film, in the television station, the whole Nigeria will see it. They won't buy it again in CD. They stood up. So what was actually killing us was lack of education, lack of information from the part of my partners, from the part of our partners. And then from there, we started the nosediving. Do you understand? That is what happened to the film industry. That is why producers then could not really make money. Do you understand? And the marketers that made money, bells, whatever they built, had all these things, they lavished the money. That's what happened.
Let me explain why I'm particular about this issue. Now, if you take a foreign investor, for instance, who is interested in investing in the industry here, the first thing he would ask is, let me know how many films you have produced and how much you have made. Reason being that from those records, he can do an analysis. He can do some financial projection and say, okay, from, like you said, one of your films sold some millions. Okay, if I invest 3 million, going by the records that we have, then I'm likely to get 5 million. So that's return on investment. But if we do not have it, people like that would not be interested. Is there a way that we can maybe develop a mechanism to monitor and have these records? Is there a way we can do that?
Yeah, the industry has changed.
Okay.
And those days, there would have been a record like that because people knew how many tapes are sold. Do you understand? You go to where the tapes are being manufactured and you know how many tapes are being manufactured. That's how I knew. Do you understand? Landlord. I did not know Iso Jova. Iso Jova surprised me. A man waking up in the morning, you go to his house, he said, I'm taking you to Lagos. Got to Lagos. We went to Ladipo. I've never been to Ladipo. All my lifetime in Lagos, I've never been to Ladipo before. Took me to Ladipo and tell me to choose a car. Do you understand? I was mad. So I did not know that film can sell 1 million. But after that, my eyes opened. Do you understand? And I knew that movies can sell that. So I started monitoring. When I gave him Landlord, he's alive as my witness, I start trying to know how many CDs landlords sold. And to my surprise, landlords sold a whole lot too. Do you understand? I got to know how many CDs landlords sold, at least 1.5, getting closer to Iso Jehovah. Do you understand? And now, but then the industry has changed. Presently, you can't count CDs anymore. Presently, you do a film, you take it to the online platforms. You do a film, you take it to the television houses. You do a film, you open your own online platform, that's a YouTube channel, or you develop an app, and you try to fix it there. Do you understand? Presently, we're still making, the industry is still making that mistake, that the next phase of the industry that is coming may still sweep us again out. What's the mistake? We are depending on YouTube channels. Okay. Do you understand? Content development and content ownership is two different things. When you develop a content and you still dash it out, most of the content we generate today, we are giving it to YouTube.
Sure.
I hope you understand me. A man in this state developed his own personal app, and I was crazy about him. But he sold out that app. Today, that app is a very popular app for content acquisition. We need to unite as an industry in Akwa Ibom and hire an application developer to develop for us an app where we can own, not a YouTube. So when somebody, just an app like YouTube itself. So when we launch it on Google, when you want to watch Akwa Ibom film, you go to the app, you click to watch, and we make the money.
Okay, is it not possible to discuss with this same person who developed that app and sold it to...
The man sold the app with the condition that the company will employ him. They employed him, employ his idea. That is the mentality that we have around here. Do you understand? People do things to look for way. Immediately they wear a block, app open, pap, they don't go. So, you see, Akwa Ibom is a very beautiful place. But so many people are looking for how to live here. See, if I was thinking like the rest, I wouldn't have been here. Do you understand? While you are thinking of how to live Akwa Ibom, I'm thinking of how to stay and expand. Sure, understand? That's the difference between me and the rest. So definitely that is the situation we have. The records will not be that, except maybe you going to YouTube, because the records are that say how many views.
Let me make a suggestion. You have the Association of Movie Producers of Nigeria. When you were introducing yourself, you didn't mention that you are the chairman.
No, I'm not. I'm the chairman.
No, I mean Directors Guild.
Guild of Nigeria. Yes.
And that's Akwa Cross, right?
Yes. Akwa Ibom and Cross River State
Okay,
chapter.
so you have the number of your members. Is it not possible to tell your members, go to your archives, give me the number, at least? Let's have an idea. Let's have an estimate
of how many.
Yes,
of your films.
of how many.
It is possible.
Yes.
It is very possible to do that. Those of them that want to, and those of them that did not sell their right. Like if you sell to YouTube, you will have to count the views. Okay. If you sold to marketers, they won't even allow you to go near it. Do you understand that kind of thing? Marketers will not give it, except they really love you. Do you understand? But if you sell to YouTube, and then I like doing cinema films. Okay. I don't really enjoy this YouTube kind of film. So I know how many views, how many tickets, box office tickets that most of my films have sold, because
we can get that.
Yes, because they send the records to the emails of my producers, and they've been printing it out when they had negotiated to get their monies out. So I can still gather those records. Yes, it's possible to gather them.
So what I'm saying is, between the Association of Movie Producers of Nigeria, Akwa Ibom chapter, Directors Guild of Nigeria, Akwa Ibom chapter, and Association of Markets, I think there's an association like that. You can make it a condition for them to produce those records. So going forward, we need to have
I think
something.
they produce the AMP, Association of movie producers. It is, if they want to do it, it is their duty to do it. They will do it by themselves. They are doing well. The producers, they are doing well, so they will do it. Yes.
All right. Okay, so we'll move to, you've already talked about the number of movies, you've given us an idea, the number of movies. So, talking about raising funds, you said something about bringing staff from Mnet.
Yeah, that was then. This is how I started. Okay. This is my magic that so many people, though I wouldn't want to say everything about it on screen, so many people till today still don't want to get it. It makes me cry when I see filmmakers sit down and become apologetic looking at the producers and believing they should give him work. When I started, there was no producer.
Okay.
There was no known producer. Do you understand? Who were my producers? John Paul in 2000 was in a supermarket. I went there to buy something. I went there to buy Isa. As I entered the supermarket, I bring the message of investing in film to him. Do you understand? I talked to him. He developed interest, and we walked out. He went and sat down where he bought beer, and we were talking. Do you understand? John Paul is who owned all day supermarket along Ikorebone Road. I talked to him like mad. He told me this money he wants to do. He wants to use it on other goods. He's trying to open another supermarket. I told him put it in film. Before you know it, I was calling audition. I brought him to come and address the audition. He couldn't go back. Do you understand? He invested in Bloodstain in Bokondo. Chukuma, I went to talk to him at Power and Winners Chapel. Do you understand? As I was talking to him, he was doing as if he get as he be. I went to talk to his pastor, prayed with his pastor. The then zonal pastor of Winners Chapel at Ikorobido. The man called him and said, God is giving you investment, you're running. I was there. And the man held his hand and said, Father, put in this hand. I can't forget the prayer. This hand shall not fail. He said amen. And my film was shot. He brought out money. I'm Obi Ejelichukwu. A spare part dealer, nothing concerned with film. He sell building material, mostly how to tiles, toilet, building material, everything that had to do ceramic. That's his business. That is building materials. He was at Oran Street. I bust into his office and told him, sir, you must invest in film. Do you understand? Was shot. Okay, what of this guy that got money from politics? He ran away with that money. That's 2007. He ran away with that money. They gave him money to do politics. Do you understand? I won't mention his name, but I will mention the film he did. He ran away with that Ghana must go. As he came to help him escape. And then as people were running, looking for him, I was talking film. Yes, I was talking film. And that is how he's from died. And that is he invested in a film called King's Son. Okay. After that, he invested in that film. He told me he'll be doing more films. But when he took the film to go and sell in Lagos, he bought a car and drove back. Do you understand? To my disappointment, he used the money that he sold the film and buy a car and drove back. When I was at the age of the film producers of today, I did not live on Facebook abusing other people. I did not live on trying to go and talk and looking at whether the next man is shooting or not. My idea, my life, every potential person I meet in my life was an investor. No matter how small you are, I did not discriminate anybody. I was able to talk people to bring money and invest into the industry. And the people that are calling themselves stars today and probably stakeholders in the industry today were beneficiaries acting those films. They didn't know how I got it. I was talking to everybody I met, invest in film. All my neighbors in my street knew about how to invest in film. I was marketing it left, right, and center. Do you understand? I used to recruit beautiful girls those days. Do you understand? And I had them, 30 of them. I call them Ye30. When I unleash them on you, you sponsor film. I'm telling you. So I had this strategy. Yes, it was my ministry, it was my life, and that was how I got investors. Okay. I have never been to police station. I've never had any problem because of filmmaking. They had their monies back, and because of the talk, envy Eskor, I could not sustain most of those people for the benefit of the industry. Because people will come to the industry not to go out and seek their own investors, but to sit down and see who Eskor is bringing, so that you can take the person away. And by trying to take the person away, I will discourage the person from coming to the industry. I had several, within a span of 2005 to 2007. Do you understand? And then we break into the indigenous industry. Do you understand? Between 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 11, I had made over 200 films from different investors. I was talking to investors to bring money to invest in films. I was talking to investors to bring money to invest in films. That aggressiveness, that lifestyle is no more in the industry today. Do you understand? What we see in the industry is envy, talk, jealousy. Do you understand? Those days I didn't have time for those things. Every neighbor of mine was a potential investor in the film industry.
Okay, and another thing is that you're able to bring in some of the biggest Nollywood stars to feature in your film. How do you do that?
Well, the movie industry is about connections. When you know one person, from that person you know the rest. Sometimes you can decide to bring a star that charges like okay, let me put for example now. The woman in 1929, Shola. Yes, as at the time she came here for 2 million, she was 5 million. As at today, she's 8 million. RMD would have been in this town if the producer had the money. As at 2 months ago, RMD is 10 million. Do you understand? 10 million if he does not like the script. 5 million if he loves your script. Yes, he calls it challenging roles. If the role is challenging, he will pity you. But if it is something he doesn't like, he just wants to feature for you for endorsement purposes, his manager, that's what the manager told me. And I spoke with him, he said he can't help, I should go with the manager because he has signed dotted lines with the manager. So that is why we could not afford him. But you can, with your connections, through this person, to this person, to this person, please help me call this person. Talk to this person, you'll be able to get most of these stars easily.
Hey yo, what is up, yo? What is up, Nigeria? It's your number one family radio, 105.9 FM.
It's scary. Ubi this, you already know. Oh, yeah.
Jumbo say so.
Jason. In my bond, you say fine girl. This ain't so fine girl. Si I'm gonna ology my girl, oh, see. I want you to be a boo, ology my girl, ology my girl. Cause I know you want somebody. Cause I know you need somebody. Cause I know you want somebody. I know you need somebody. Can you need somebody? See, if I'm from Canada, I go take you to Canada. Oh yeah, Canada, I go take you to Canada. If I'm from Canada, I go take you to Canada. Oh yeah, Canada, I go take you to Canada.